Windows 8. Released back in October 2012, it's one of the biggest overhauls of the Windows operating system so far, taking cues from Windows Phone 7 released 2 years earlier. It added a flat user interface which includes the modern UI first seen on Windows Phone 7, but did you know that Windows 8 looked a lot different in the early development stages compared to the final release? Well, in this video we're going to take an overview at Windows 8 Developer Preview, 4 years later from its build release, and take a look at the changes from the Developer Preview and the final release. So let's get started, shall we? First off, you may notice on the desktop that the Aero transparent theme first seen in Vista was still present in this build. Of course, as you know, they removed that in the final release of Windows 8. Also, there is a Start button, just like in the newer Windows 8.1 and the upcoming Windows 10. The Start button in the Windows 8 Developer Preview didn't really go well with the rest of the operating system's UI, putting a flat Windows logo flag on a grey background. That Windows flag didn't make its way to the final release, instead replacing that with 4 blue or grey squares. Looking at the Start menu and the rest of the modern UI interface, you may be asking, why is there so much green? Well, for some reason it was a default setting in the system that couldn't be changed. Luckily, in a later release of Windows 8, you could actually pick a favourite colour of your choice instead of green. Although green was still a colour option in the final release, if people hate green, they can change it to whatever they want, instead of sticking with green in the Developer Preview. Anyways, remember the Charms bar that is in the final release of Windows 8 and also 8.1? Well, that was also in the Developer Preview, but instead of being on the right side, it was located where the Start menu is in older versions of Windows and the new Windows 10. Also, it was slightly more difficult to find applications in the Start menu, since there wasn't a button to show apps. Instead, you had to start typing what app you were trying to find, or click search in the Charms bar. Furthermore, there are a couple of pre-installed Metro UI apps, probably to show off what those apps would look like in Windows 8. Those apps range from a drawing app called Paintplay, a piano app, a Metro UI version of the remote desktop, a note-taking app, some games, and also an app called Bitbox, which allows you to create music, similar to GarageBand but in a different style. In terms of the stock Metro UI or modern UI apps, the Stocks app, which wouldn't load on my testing, looks completely different from the final release of Windows 8. And the control panel also looked different, with a white background and a bit of green in the controls, as I mentioned before, which could not be changed. And finally, there was a Windows store installed in the Windows 8 Developer Preview, except it wasn't available at the time. What? What? Oh well, at least you could use the built-in Windows 8 or desktop apps. Not too interested in the Metro UI apps, whatever. And so there you have it, a video taking a look at what Windows 8 looked like in the early stages of development. The Developer Preview still has a lot of glossy, transparent elements found in Windows Vista and Windows 7. But those elements evolved through the different beta builds of Windows 8 to the final release. Now, as we speak, a new version of Windows, specifically Windows 10, is currently in development stages, which has actually brought back the Start menu, but still keeps the actual modern UI elements in. And it's definitely different compared to the other versions of Windows, like the Windows 8 Developer Preview. So if you go ahead and try the Windows 8 Developer Preview after using Windows 8 for a while, you may realise that a lot of things are quite different. If you like this video, be sure to give this a thumbs up and subscribe to see more videos from me in the future. You can also follow me on my social networks like Twitter and Instagram for more updates from me in the future. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, thank you for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye! Those apps range from a drawing app called Paintplay, a piano app, a meteorite. I think it's good. What I need for my next video, which is over there on my MacBook. Yeah, there it is. Hopefully you can see it in a Premiere Pro. So yeah.